So in this video we're going to make some cake pops. You don't need a lot of different things, so I've basically got some sponge cake that's crumbled up. So literally just a normal sponge cake, and you're just going to crumble it up by rubbing it together in your hands until it creates breadcrumbs. Now if you've got a really crusty edge on your cake, you don't want to put that in, as you'll find it's difficult to roll them into balls if you've got the thick edge bit in. So we've just crumbled up the cake crumbs, and we're just going to add some buttercream to that. Now quantity wise, I tend to guess. I just put it in until I'm happy with the texture and consistency of it, but you don't want to put too much in that becomes too sickly that people won't want to eat it. So we're just adding in the buttercream. We're just going to mix that in. Once our buttercream and sponge are mixed together, I'm going to roll them to shape. Now for these ones, we're not going to have round ones. We're going to try and do like Easter egg shaped ones to make them a little bit Eastery. So we'll start with a ball and then just roll it ever so slightly at one side to try and make it a little bit more Easter egg shaped like that. This is the most fiddly bit, I think, is getting them to the right shape. Okay, so that's one there. I'm just going to put it on greaseproof paper so that it doesn't stick to my work surface. And I'll just do a few of these. I'm not going to do loads, but we'll do a few for a little set. And what I'm going to do is put them in the fridge just for 5 minutes to harden them just a tad while I'm melting my colour melts. So what I've got now is some cake pop sticks. Now you can get paper ones and you can get plastic ones. For these ones we're going to use the paper ones because I want them to look green like flower stalks, so these will absorb the food colouring whereas the plastic ones won't. So I've literally just got a little bit of food colouring on a brush that I've just watered down a little bit, and I'm just going to paint my sticks green. Once these are painted, I'll just let them dry before putting them into the cake pops. And I'm just putting them down on greaseproof paper so that they don't stain my work surface once I've got them painted up. I've painted my sticks up, and what I'm going to do now is melt my colour melts. So for this one, I'm going to use Renshaws colour melts. I've got a nice pink one because I think that'll be a nice colour for the tulips that we're going to make for these ones. So my colour melts are now melted. If you find they're a bit thick, you can add a little bit of vegetable fat or vegetable shortening just to loosen it up a little bit. You'll find it will thicken up as you work. So we're going to take one of our sticks and we're going to dip it into the colour melts, and then taking one of our Easter egg shaped cake pops, we're just going to push it into the bottom. Now we're not going to push it too far in, otherwise it's going to drop back down the stick. I'm going to do that with all of them. So we're going to dip it into the candy melts, so try and get it covered if you can. I just want to twizzle it in there, I don't want to move it around too much. And we're going to pull it out, let it drip off a little bit. Just tap it to get rid of any extra that's going to drip off. So once we've covered it, we're going to stick it into a piece of polystyrene just till it dries. So I don't know if you can see that very well. So I've just got a block of polystyrene and I'm just going to push that into there until it's dried and set. And I'll repeat the same with the others. So once it's set, we're going to take some modelling paste. Now I've got some pink flower and modelling paste that's ready dyed. People always ask which I use, so I've got the Renshaw one this time. It just makes it a bit easier when it's coloured for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by rolling a long sausage piece of it, and I'm just going to roll it out a little bit. And I'm going to roll it so that I get it thin on one edge, so I don't know how well you can see. There's one edge that's thin and one edge that's a little bit thicker. So what I'm going to do now is wet the thicker side. I'm just going to use a bit of water just to go down there and just make it a little bit sticky. And I'm going to start by putting it onto the very end of my cake pop, and I'm going to twist it. Careful that it stays on while you're doing this. Basically you want to twist it so that we're going to get a curl at the top, like so. So then once we've done that, we're just going to roll out some circles, and the reason that we're using the flour and modelling paste is just because it's a little bit easier to use when we're rolling it fine and making petal shapes from, whereas normal fondant can get a little bit sticky and flop backwards a little bit when we're doing it nice and thin. So we'll start with 3 balls even of the modelling paste. Okay, and I'm going to squash them down a little bit with my fingers, like so. And I'm just going to roll the edges a little bit more with my rolling pin so they're nice and thin. If you can do it with your fingers, that's absolutely fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to wrap these around here. So if you need to use a little bit of water to make them stick, that's fine. So the first one on, we're going to wrap it around there like that. And we're going to do the same with the other 2. We're going to wrap them round on our cake pop. So you'll see already it's starting to look a little bit rose-like. So we've got all 3 on there. If you want to curl them backwards, you can curl them backwards a little bit. We'll just rest that down there. You can pop it in a polystyrene box as well to keep it upright. So we're going to do the same again, but with 5 balls. I'm going to flatten them out in the same way as we did before. So flattening them just with our fingers. I'm not too worried about the little cracks because I'm going to cover them up with another petal. And just roll them out a little bit. If you want to use round cutters you can do, but I think they look okay without being perfectly round. Well, we're just going to repeat the same process we did before. So we're just going to stick our petals on again, over the other one. So one at a time. And we've got 5 to get on this one. I'm just going to push that last one so it goes under the first one that we put on. Okay, now I've managed to get water all over my fingers, so it's gone really sticky, so be careful not to get water everywhere like I have done. I'm just going to pull each of my petals back just a little bit. Okay, so you see it is looking more and more rose-like, and we're just going to repeat exactly the same thing, but we're going to put a few more petals on, and we're going to make each petal slightly bigger, and they'll just cover that last bit that we've got round the bottom. So this time what I've done, I've rolled it out, and I'm just experimenting really, so you can carry on exactly the same way, or if you want you can use cutters and cut out circular shapes. So we'll just use some cutters. So we'll need to cut out a few more, and this time we're just going to do exactly the same again. So I'm putting quite a bit of water on, and we're going to put it so that it goes to the bottom of your cake pop this time, so that there's none of the colour melts on show anymore. So I'm just going to put that down while I get my others ready. I'm going to work on it while it's down because it's quite difficult to keep hold of. So I'll just overlap that over the last one that I put on. Keeping going all the way around. And again, you can flick your petals back a little bit if you like. So I'm going to lift that last one up and slot that in between, like so. Okay, pick it up, just making sure all my petals are stuck. Okay, pulling back my petals, you can pinch them a little bit to give them a bit more shape. Okay, sorry, I think I got that out of the shot of the camera now. So just pull them back and giving them a little bit of shape, and that's it. So that's your rose cake pop. Now you can do them smaller if you want, so they're a little bit less heavy. This one's a little bit unstable with me doing it as big as I did, but I wanted to do it quite big so you could see what it looks like. Okay, thank you for watching. If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.